Someone buying a scratch-off ticket knows they are hoping for a lucky break. But watch a day trader staring down a wall of monitors, executing rapid-fire orders. That person feels like an expert running a complex strategy. Yet, mathematically, short-term price movements in highly efficient markets are incredibly noisy. Both the lottery player and the day trader are attempting to extract a predictable outcome from a highly unpredictable system. The main difference is the trader's supreme confidence. In 1975, a Yale researcher named Ellen J. Langer published a paper examining exactly why this happens. She called the phenomenon the illusion of control. In principle, the line between skill and chance is obvious. In a true skill task, there is a direct causal link between your behavior and the outcome. If you practice the piano, you play better. In a game of chance, the outcome is totally independent of your actions. Langer hypothesized that our brains get easily confused by context. If you take an event governed entirely by chance, but inject specific characteristics usually found in a skill-based environment, like choice, practice, or competition, people will start acting as if they are in control. We are wired to misinterpret randomness the moment it puts on the disguise of skill, and nowhere is that psychological flaw more easily exploited than in modern financial markets. To test this, Langer designed a series of 6 experiments. The first involved a simple game of high card draw. Participants pulled a card from a standard deck against a human opponent, pure, unadulterated chance. The catch was the opponent. Subjects either faced a well-dressed, highly confident competitor, referred to in the study as dapper, or an awkward, nervous opponent in an ill-fitting suit, labeled the schnook. The participants bet real money on their blind card draws. When facing the confident opponent, their average wager was roughly $11. But when sitting across from the awkward, nervous opponent, their average bet jumped to over $16. A nervous opponent has zero impact on the random distribution of a shuffled deck of cards, but the mere presence of a competitor activated a skill orientation in the participants' minds. They evaluated their opponent, deemed them weak, and bet heavier as if they could outplay them. You see the exact same behavior in retail trading. A novice investor spots a volatile meme stock, assumes the people selling it are dumb money, and increases their position size to take advantage of the perceived weakness. Framing a random system as a player versus player competition artificially inflates our certainty. The moment we think we are playing against someone else, we forget the market itself is dictating the outcome. Another major trigger Langer identified is personal choice. She tested this by selling $1 lottery tickets to office workers. Half the subjects were allowed to look through the tickets and select the specific card they wanted. The other half were simply handed a ticket at random by the researcher. Later, the experimenters asked the workers how much money they would demand to sell their ticket back before the drawing. This chart illustrates the drastic price gap between the two groups. The individuals who were randomly assigned a ticket asked for about $2 to give it up. The group that chose their own ticket demanded nearly $9. Langer pushed this further in a third study. She offered participants a chance to trade their current ticket for one in a lottery with objectively better odds of winning. When participants had originally selected a ticket featuring a familiar symbol, like the first letter of their own name, they overwhelmingly refused the trade. They preferred the mathematically inferior odds simply because they recognized the letter. In investing, this manifests as home country bias, or the tendency to heavily weight a portfolio with recognizable brands. An investor might load up on Apple or Disney stock, ignoring broader index funds that offer better statistical risk adjustment, purely because they own an iPhone. The act of selecting an asset, especially one we recognize, tricks the brain. We subconsciously interpret the act of choosing as an act of influence, treating a stock pick like a personal endorsement, rather than a bet on an uncertain future. The final variables Langer tested revolve around involvement, both active physical practice and passive waiting. In her fourth experiment, subjects tried to guess which path a machine would activate. Some subjects were given time to practice and familiarize themselves with the equipment before the real test. Even though the machine was rigged to be totally random, the subjects who physically practiced reported higher confidence in their ability to guess the correct path. Passive involvement works similarly. Langer surveyed crowds at a racetrack and office workers participating in a multi-day lottery. She found that the longer people waited for an outcome, or the more often they had to check on their ticket and installments, the more confident they became that they were going to win. The trap here is engagement. Prolonged time spent thinking about an outcome or physically interacting with the mechanism that delivers it manufactures a false sense of steering. The mind equates effort with control. Apply this to a modern brokerage app. The interface encourages you to check your portfolio multiple times a day, scroll through colorful charts, and execute micro trades with a single swipe. That high-friction, high-frequency engagement does not grant you any more control over the market. It merely deepens the delusion that you are in the driver's seat. Why does the human brain work this way? Why are we so desperate to manufacture patterns out of pure noise? Langer points to a deep, underlying psychological motivation: the need to master our environment. A persistent feeling of having no control generates severe anxiety and a paralyzing sense of helplessness. In many areas of life, this illusion is actually beneficial. A slightly inflated sense of agency can prevent depression, help employees accept corporate restructuring, and return a sense of dignity to the elderly by allowing them to make minor daily choices. But when you apply this psychological safety net to a financial market, the results are catastrophic. The brain uses comfort and familiarity to justify taking wild, uncalculated risks. This summary table from Langer's paper shows highly significant data across all 6 studies, proving that humans consistently conflate chance and skill. Today, trading platforms are meticulously designed to trigger every single one of these variables. They gamify competition, offer endless choices of familiar brands, and demand high-frequency engagement. The only defense is recognizing the triggers. Before increasing your risk, you have to separate the psychological comfort of pushing a button from the cold mathematical reality of the system. You must know the difference between mastering a true skill and simply holding a lucky ticket.
OTS Ullu. Knowledge is one of the best investments you can make, and continuous learning keeps you sharp. Subscribe to OTS Ullu on YouTube.